What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today is another premiere day where today we're going to be focusing purely on Max CHANGMIN, and that's because you guys suggested it, and thank you again, Cheyenne. You basically told me that the behind the scenes came out of both Devil and Maniac, and we're going to be looking at both those videos today with you guys. Like always, for the people who don't know, I'm basically doing premieres because we cannot do these in live streams. It would be cool if I could interact live with you guys, but it's just sad that when I do it, I just get taken down and I don't want that experience. So if you have any questions or any remarks, just put it in the chat. It's supposed to be fun. I'm not going to edit this video to make it any more crazy than what it could be. It's just about keeping it simple, you know, about making it just a legit live stream without the live stream, but instead I can still interact with you guys throughout the chat. But like I already mentioned, today we're not going to be looking at one video. We're actually going to be looking at two videos, and that is going to be Devil and Maniac. So I'm just going to say, let's just start with the video. Today we're going to start with Devil by Max CHANGMIN, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. You know, let's see what we can pick up about the making of this video. Let's see what we can actually do and discover about how this video was made, and maybe there's something interesting that we can learn from it. You know, there are always these learning points in these videos that I think are very interesting. So I would just say, let's start and get right into it. Cool, let's go for it. Okay, I just want to stop here already because it's the first second of A Devil with Max CHANGMIN. It's basically that the entire idea here reminds me a little bit of Taman and Idea, and I just liked that concept a lot because I like the idea of a forest. It gives a very eerie feeling, and it's very nice as well. It's very nice that they do this more often because I love natural concepts. I love concepts that are taking place in real life locations, and this looks really beautiful. Okay, hold up. Another thing that I want to point out is basically the lighting situation here. You already can see that there are two different lights here, two different tones, and one of them is going to be green, the other one is going to be orange. They're quite different from each other, and it's nice as an effect on the face, as you can see here. But what I also like, and that's what most people actually might forget when they analyze these videos, is that we have another light in the background. I cannot say whether this is a spotlight, but it's just a light to illuminate the background, illuminate the trees, illuminate the entire set. It just makes it a little bit bigger, what did I just say? Bigger, but it just allows the set to just look much nicer. Just imagine if it was pure black in the background, you don't see the details, it would just make it a little bit more bland. And this is very nice. It's a nice little touch, but a very important detail. You can see or hear this machine in the background. I don't know what it is, but it could just be a massive fog machine creating all this fog. I cannot imagine that they planned this, that, okay, on this day there's going to be fog in the mountain. It could be, you know, however, but it could just also be the machine running to create the fog effect. I love this. I love the purple touch actually in this scene. I thought it's really great. It's nice that he stands out completely, and it's a very beautiful color as well. So then we actually have another light here, which is interesting, and that's more like a ripple effect. I don't know what it was used for, but I think it's just to make the lighting scenario a little bit more dynamic. Instead of just keeping it in a spotlight that doesn't do anything but shine a light, this is moving a little bit, creating a bit of a ripple effect. Maybe it's supposed to be like the moonlight going through the trees, but it's nice. It's actually very nice what they have done here. Oh, actually we have some camera equipment here that we can talk about. Again, they use a normal crane here, a quite expensive crane. I cannot see what camera they use here, but the system is very, very expensive. I mean, this gimbal, this unit here just allows the camera to move in every direction possible, and it's very nice. I always say that the cranes are very useful because it just gives the entire choreography, it gives the entire set the place to move. Because can you imagine if someone is moving up and down all the time? It's just another person going through the choreography, and there's just a lot of errors that can happen. You know, imagine the guy slips, or imagine he walks into one of the people dancing. It's not something you want, so this is a very good solution. It's an expensive solution, it's not cheap, but it does work. And here you basically can see a more simplified studio version of that same gimbal. Again, this one can pan to the left and to the right, up and down, but I don't really think that it can rotate on the axis perfectly. I don't know what the limitations are, but again, it's the same purpose. It's just allowing the people to focus on the camera and not the person who's holding the camera. They're quite focused shots, actually. Oh, that's actually very interesting. I didn't notice it. So I already said in the video that there there is some sort of green screen over there, but actually it's a blue screen. But do you see these crosses here on the background? These are basically markings, reference points. So when they add the 3D surroundings, the fake surroundings into the video at the end, they just know, okay, that was one wall, that was the other wall. So they more or less can play with the 3D perspective on how the camera is moving. Very nice. Again, we have a camera here. I can't see if that was though on a crate or if someone is holding it, but I can imagine someone is holding it actually here, because we also have a bigger, a bigger monitor over here. Nice. Very, very nice. And you can also just see how detailed that shot is. And if you look at the shot itself, you can also more or less see the golden ratio, where the main character is not right in the center. There is basically all the detail here on the right side of the shot. Very nice. Very, very nice. And there you can see more of the markings as reference points. What are they filming? They're literally filming nothing. So it could actually just be that even though they were filming nothing over here, it could most possibly be that to say, hey, look, the shot is going to be looking like this. The camera is going to move like this. Just be prepared that in case the camera moves from the left to the right, also make sure to look at the camera from the left to the right. You know, it's all about preparing everyone on set. Okay, really nice shots. Really, really, really beautiful. Even the entire set is fantastic, purely because you have the real ground in the on the bottom, basically the sand. But I already thought that this was going to be CGI, because I think they make this white, if not mistaken. But it's just fantastic what they did with this. They made it as simple as possible, but it just looks clean. I always say, keep it simple if your budget is low. Don't throw too much money in it, or don't throw a big project on it if the money cannot support it correctly. And they did a fantastic job here. Also the smoke effect, really nice. You can hear a ventilator trying to blow it all, you know, as if it's going from the right to the left. You know, it's just making it a little bit more dynamic again. Hey, there we have the crane again with the camera. That golden ratio, do you guys see it again? It's over here. And then the focus is more or less on his eye here, even though you're going to be looking most likely at this eye, but the focus is more here. Actually, let's have a look at the frames. Let's look at some of the details. So, alrighty. So they're shooting at 23.976, aka 24 frames per second. The shutter is at 180. ISO, I think, is at 500. They're using an ND filter f.6 to just make it a little bit darker. And they have the, let's see, they're filming for 32 minutes already. Let's have a look. And the white balance is at 5600, which is quite a natural white balance. It's not too warm, not too cold, and it's really nice. It's just the standard, actually. Just makes it easier to edit at the end. You can see that these monitors are wireless. That means more people are actually looking at it. Good for you, man. I really think he did a good job actually with these videos. Okay, so here you can actually see some of the lighting, or sorry, some of the camera. Let's go back a little bit. Some of the camera angles. So it's weird how he's actually having the monitor at this angle. Why would you not just put it a little bit straight so you can actually see what you're looking at? But they're using an RE. And it's really nice. You can also see that someone else is pulling focus here, that this is all a motorized system. I always thought that the person pulling focus is actually the cameraman, but this is actually 100% incorrect. There is actually someone watching the live feed of this camera on another screen, and he's pulling focus depending on how the camera is moving. It just makes it so much easier for the cameraman to move around, so he doesn't have to focus on also focusing on the main subject. In this case, Max. Very nice. Very nice shot. 굉장히 분위기가 좋게 나오고 있습니다. 너무너무 기대가 저도 되는데 오늘 그리고 또 계속 이어서 뮤직비디오를 촬영을 할 텐데 여러분들 저랑 같이 I would love to join you in this journey. 함께 해주시면 감사하겠습니다. 감사합니다. Something like that. 감사합니다. There we go. Okay. 자, They did a great job though, you know, with all the props. Very nice.
Just let it rain.
Very nice as well with the wind effect actually going through his hair. Again, it's just adding a bit of a dimension to the world that he's in. It's very simple things that have to happen to make it just look real, but there are also some elements that even bigger groups or other big K-pop stars forget to do in their videos. I think it's a bit of a shame. I remember one video where we were looking at one and he was sitting in a train which we saw was fake, but there was not even wind going through his hair. It was just really crazy because it's like, okay, he's on a very fast moving train, but nothing is actually happening to his hair. So this is studio, you know, it's all about selling the effect. And this is also why I was questioning whether this was all real or fake. But somehow you could see it was fake, but it was really close to selling me 100% to say it could have been a real location.
Just let it rain.
Very nice. Even the sand and everything moving, you know, with their footworks. And again, look at how this camera here on the side is moving. It just can go up, down, left and right. It just makes it limitless, you know, what you can film. And it's fantastic. I'm actually curious, do you think the other dancers get paid good or not? Like, does anyone have news about that? Because I'm always skeptical. You know, we have Max, for example, the main man who is doing his job. And, you know, would he be any different without the extra dancers? I'm just curious. What do you guys actually think about it? Do you think they get paid a lot as well? Or I'm just really curious. Great shot. Very nice. It's also very nice how they pull the focus, that it's all not just optimized, aka the camera does it. It's nice when someone pulls the focus. It just makes it so much more smoother. It's something that you can only do with two people, but it's tricky. Oh, there we have a spotlight in the background that you can see. Very nice. Do you guys hear the drone? Do you guys hear the drone in the background? They're actually flying a drone. Oh, now I get it. It's the drone that has the light on top. Ah, I now get it why they were using a drone and how the light is moving so freely. They actually have a drone where there is a light at the bottom that is causing those nice effects. It isn't a ripple effect. It's actually the light going through the trees and causing this effect. Really cool. You can also hear it's quite a heavy drone, and this is basically because it's actually holding a proper spotlight. So it's nice to see. I thought first they're just going to do or show some maybe backstories or some, you know, behind the scenes with a drone perspective. But now we understand the light is actually the drone, or the light is being carried by the drone. Really nice. It's much more effective, of course, than just allowing a person to be up very high. It just makes everything a little bit simpler because you don't need another crane. You don't need another big equipment to basically put a light very high. It just put up a drone, let it fly for 40 minutes, let it follow the main character for a bit, cause a little bit of a crazy effect, and then you're done. It's so much more cost effective. I think drones are really the future. I love drones. I really enjoy them. There's so many reasons to why you just want one.
So just let it rain.
Whoop! Whoop! Imagine you could just finish a video like that. Very nice. So now you can see it actually clear here. So there's a spotlight right above him, and that is basically a drone that is holding that light. Very nice. Just look at all the equipment they have in the background. There's always so many things that they have to bring. And, you know, the more I keep buying, the more boxes, the more crates I start buying, because you just want to make sure that all your gear is safe. This is a really good behind the scenes, by the way. It's one of the best that I've seen so far.
근데 12월 중순에 찍는 거 치고는 그래도 날씨가 많이 도와줘서
Mid-December, so they actually filmed this literally nearly a month ago, a little bit longer than a month ago. Nice.
평소보다는 수월하게 그래도 진행이 됐습니다.
Again, it's only 2 weeks of editing. It's quite a rush. But it also shows that these production houses that do the editing, that do everything, they just have constant projects. So they have only that amount of time set free for the project. Man, the drone is really cool. That is a really cool use for a drone. Very nice. I agree. It's a very eerie feeling, and like I already said when we were looking at the MV, just the dark vibe that you're getting from it is quite, you know, it gives me the vibes of like, oh man, what's going to come out of the background? But the cold breath also just adds a bit of an effect to the song. And now we're in a studio. Just look at the equipment. It's actually beautiful. So this is all for the light design, and this is just for them to monitor on what is actually happening on the camera so they can adjust the lights accordingly. At least that's what I'm presuming. I have no idea what they're saying, but you can hear that they actually muted it, so it could have been something quite important, something internal that they just don't want to share with people. I love this entire setup, by the way, with the rotate, exactly the way it rotates, and the more it rotates, the more the ropes actually get tighter. Really cool. Just look at this effect. Yeah, awesome. That's a real nice piece of art, actually. And also just look at the effect that it's giving. So maybe we can actually go a little bit back and I'll tell you guys a little bit more about those cranes. So do you see, for example, all those heavy weights on the back of the crane? That is basically to allow the camera to have a counterweight so you can easily move around the entire crane itself. It's all about the balance. It's all about just making it as easy as possible because that equipment is heavy. But if you can counterbalance it, it just makes it as heavy as a feather, basically. It's a really cool... I don't know who invented it, but whoever did, hats off to you, you know? Like, I bet it's just basic physics, but it's cool. Man, this entire structure is amazing. Look at the way it just works. And look at the shots. Beautiful. Very nice. By the way, if anyone has epileptic attacks from these flashing lights, I'm sorry. But it does give me a little bit of a headache. Hope you guys are actually enjoying this. Like, for me, this is really fun to watch. Like, this is one of the best behind the scenes I've seen in a long time, especially over the last year. It's just so informative, you know, concerning equipment, concerning lighting, concerning the props, what is happening in the background. A lot of them just tend to hide it. I've seen this many times. It's about, you know, calm down, get ready, start doing what you have to do. I also heard from a choreographer once that if you listen to or watch people dancing, you have to make sure that whenever the people touch the floor with their shoes, that it has to be on sync. And that's the one thing I really just love about K-pop, on how on sync they actually are when they make these videos. It's just fantastic. These are just so professional, you know, the people. Just great. Just checking if my my recording, everything is going correct. Everything seems fine, I guess, no? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you actually enjoy these premieres? Do you not? How should I improve them? Just put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Just tell me. I really want to make it the best experience for you guys, and I want to keep it as natural as much as possible, of course, and keep it as clean as possible. Nice. Again, I'm not really sure how long it took them to film all of this, but I can only imagine how long it took for them to prepare all of it. Do you listen to the word? He had to request it, meaning he did not have a lot of choice in what he wanted to do. But at least he has something to say, and they really made it musical. In other words, they really made it focused on his choreography. But it's still a bit of a shame when you hear that word, he had to request it. It's not like, I have an idea, what about we do it maybe like that? I know, man. A lot of you guys prepare for it, and I think your fans really like it. When I read all you guys' comments, you can see you really appreciate him as an artist, which is nice.
메일도 한번 해보고 해봤으니까 최선을 다했으니까 여러분들께서 새해 첫 시작을 저희 데뷔가 함께 멋지게 시작하셨으면 좋겠습니다. 기대 많이 해주시고요.
It's funny though, I did start his year with that song, so it's cool that he says it, you know? I think a lot of us have actually started with that song.
감사합니다.
Thank you. And that's actually it, I guess, no, for Devil. And that is the first video. I just want to say that I really enjoyed this, purely because it's actually really fun to look how this video was made. And also, it just gave away so many details. I'm really curious now about Maniac. Is it going to be just as good or not? I would just say, let's jump into it. And I just hope that more stars or more production teams look at this type of video and say, how can we make these videos as informative as possible to actually show how difficult it is to make these MVs? They really did a good job here with some B-roll, and it just looks fantastic. I mean, I was really I'm just amazed that they were using a drone as a light. I didn't expect it, but I had to analyze it with the sound, and then I was thinking, how is the light up there moving? What is causing the effect? Do they have like a filter up there that's maybe rotating on the motor? But no, it's just a light going through the forest. Even easier, more cost effective. Awesome. I would just say, let's go to Maniac now and watch this video. Again, I thought this was one of my favorite videos, actually, from Max, at least this time. It was fun, it was engaging, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm actually curious on this video, and it's even a little bit longer. So this one is 11 minutes and 30 seconds. I would just say, let's go and watch it. Oh, this is awesome already. Look, it's again giving this amazing details on what you do as a cameraman. Look at this. That is so cool, you know, and it only just started for the first 5 seconds. Amazing. The music is a bit soft though, but that's good. I hope I don't get demonetized for it. Yeah, this video was just really funny. Okay. Awesome already. I really love the shot. I love the details that we're going for. Let's have a little look at some of the details. So we have frames per second, which is 48, shutter at 90. Again, we have a white balance of 5600, ISO 400. What else can we say? Really simple actually, but it's very nice. Again, it's just nice to use these references for your camera. Of course, your camera might differ a little bit, but always look at other people's productions to see how do you get the best quality out of your camera. Can you imagine everyone is just clapping even though he was just lying on the floor? I really enjoyed this music video. I just love the idea that they were taking some aspects from Psycho. I forgot the name who actually made Psycho, but Alfred Hitchcock, I think. Fantastic. Let's have a look. Oh. Really cool. Very nice. And also, look at the way the monitor actually just swivels a little bit with. Of course, it has to swivel because the camera or the angle of the arm can go up and down. And really nice, actually. But on top of that, you can see how many people it takes, you know, to move this massive unit. But look at the shot they're getting. It is just fantastic. Very nice. Very, very cool. Yeah. Is that a real tattoo, by the way, or is it a fake one? Does anyone know? Really nice. Oh, that looks really uncomfortable, though. Very nice again. Just look at this entire camera unit. So they're using a 1 and 2. You can see it by the batteries. They're using a size lens. Really just expensive gear, but it's just beautiful. You know, like this gimbal. So theoretically a gimbal, all it does is stabilize footage to make it as soft as possible, you know, to make it as little as rough as possible. Let me rephrase that for a second. But gimbals have evolved so much that even now they have GPS. So basically, depending on how quick you run, it adjusts the camera based on that, even on the speed of that. It's just amazing how far technology has come, especially with the camera equipment. I like the setup as well. Quite simple, but has a very nice effect. You know, because they're selling the idea of a backstage. So a backstage really looks like this. It just looks really rough. Again, you can clearly see just the role of people even, you know, like the second person here, she's basically just following the cameraman because when they walk back, the thing is heavy, you know, it just makes it easier. You want to make sure that the cameraman is a little bit relaxed because he's holding something quite heavy freehanding, you know, that is like, I don't know how heavy the camera is, but I can imagine around 5 to 10 kilograms, and to run with it is quite heavy, especially when it's in front of you, you know, it's not really in balance with your body. Just look at her. And all her job is just to hold it, to say, okay, we're done. Awesome. See? RE, massive battery in the back. Beautiful. You saw how many people were actually grabbing the camera the moment it came down. We got not 2 hands, we got 4 hands going for it. They just don't want anything to go wrong with it. Again, we have all those beautiful reference points for the green screen. It's actually very good though, what he says, you know, I want to do it one more time. Like, he felt something was wrong with it, so he just want to get the feeling, and then they go for it again. I just love the people in the background. They're just clapping for no apparent reason. I mean, all he did was jump, but then again, if they love it, they love it. You know, it's about sharing that love. Again? That's a funny looking diffuser though. Let me have a look at it. Look at that. You're just using cloths as a diffuser. And I mean, why not. If it works, it works. They have a fan in the background to, again, to give the illusion of the hair falling down. I think he's falling down in this scene. And again, it's all about selling that illusion, you know, in the environment that he is. And he was about to fall down, I think. So the moving hair does make sense. Very nice. Man, these are some of the best behind the scenes that I've seen. And it's from someone that I've only seen this year. So this is really impressive. Really cool. What do you guys actually think of these behind the scenes? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Tell me, because I'm very curious. So that was a full day. You can see how much they did. I'm really curious how many hours they did, but I can imagine 8, 10, 12 hours. Especially running in these clothes, they're quite heavy. Could be very tiring, very warm. Yeah, this is great. This was the scene where I was a bit questionable whether they synced it correctly with his voice, because all of a sudden I think he moved his lips or something happened with his lips where the sync was a little bit incorrect. But you can see here that he all of a sudden did sync or did sing in sync to the music. Man, that was a bit of a tongue twister, but it's interesting. You know, I always question what happens on set and what happens at the editing portion of the video.
지금은 이제 Maniac 2일차 촬영입니다. 어제도 그렇고 또 이제 오늘 촬영장을 여러분이 보시게 되면
It's funny, they only show like one minute of day 2. Curious what actually happened there, but look at all the equipment in the background still. So many things to prepare for. But it looks really fun. Like all you do is work for this particular day.
그런 생각이 듭니다. 제 의상 색깔도 너무 예쁘고 아까도 그 같이 출연해 주시는 분들께서도 옆에서 세트 색감이 너무 예쁘다고 그래서 아마 보는 즐거움도 아마 있지 않을까 여러분들께서라는 그런 생각을 합니다. 더더욱 저도 기대가 됩니다.
Good for you, man. He looks very young though. How old is Max? Again, look at those LED tubes here on the side. I really have to buy myself some. Very nice. You can really see he's in his own element, you know, doing his own thing. Very nice. He's really in his own element.
오늘도 이제 얼마 안 남았습니다, 여러분. 파이팅! 하죠! 스트레인저 좀 같이 떨어질게요.
Really cool. I think this was the photo shoot, no? It's just fantastic how they show so much about the studio. It's really cool. You can see how everything is just integrated in the video. Very nice.
들어는 보셨나요? 한글과 컴퓨터 타자 연습했어요. 300~400편은 정도는 좀 했었죠 제가.
That's a lot. 300 words per minute is quite crazy.
너무 옛날 사람이죠, 그죠? 분노의 타자죠.
컷.
이렇게 하다가 너무 공포에 질려서 도망가는 것까지 해볼게요. 세트 바꾸고. 네, 한번 나가볼게요.
Very nice. All the different angles. It just makes so much more sense what they're doing.
갔다.
Really, really nice. I enjoy these behind the scenes a lot. There we got a little bit of a diffuser again. Light diffuser. It's something about light diffusers that is just amazing. So in our arsenal, we have a lot of diffusers. We love them. We just think they're very helpful for photography and videography. It just makes the light so much more pleasant on the skin, on the surroundings, and it makes it easier to film because heavy lights are just very annoying and they're very focused and they're just not so fun. Of course, it has its purpose in life, but for me, if I had a choice, always bring some sort of diffuser with. Bring a cloth with if you can't. You don't have diffuser, buy a cloth. Find options. There's always a way. I remember when I was doing some photography, by the way, back at an event, I don't know why, but I forgot my diffuser for a flash. So as embarrassing as it is, I basically got a napkin and I tied it around the flash because it just made the light a little bit softer and the photos looked more fantastic. And I was really happy with the results. Again, it's just about playing a little bit with what you have and it works. You know, you have to sometimes make compromises, but the people in front of the camera might see it. But the results, the people who are looking at the results don't see it. Really cool. We have a wireless monitor here. It's so interesting, you know, when you hear, I don't know if it's just with all Koreans, but I have many Korean friends, but you notice that when they're talking about stress, they tend to laugh it away somehow. So I can only imagine that he feels a bit terrified. You're like, yeah, it's really cool, but it's a little bit frightening as well that I have to do it again. Good for you. The adrenaline is running through you, but it's okay. Every time I was on a shoot, it's always just full of adrenaline. You could be there non-stop. Really cool. The clapping just gets me, and I've never seen so much clapping happening behind the scenes with any group, not even with Shiny. So for me, this is quite spectacular. I can only imagine they had a lot of fun preparing this video though. Really nice. Oh, look at that. Actually, aperture lighting is here. Look at that. One sec. Do you see that in the corner? Do you see the A? Let me see if we can go back a little bit. Maybe we can make it a little bit bigger. Now, aperture, fantastic lights. We also use aperture, fantastic lights. Really, really, really good. The P300, expensive. But you need it in a studio environment. You know, when you have a big space like this with no ceilings and you just need lighting, you need proper lighting. You really need to compromise a lot. I remember being on set as well where I thought there would be enough lights, ideally. But then I asked the client, can I actually go to the set myself? Because they said, we have enough lights, you know, there's enough big lights. There's a big light on the top. But when I arrived there, I noticed that even though there is a lot of lighting there, it's just not correct lighting for video. It has a the frequency, you know, when you film, it would have a lot of stutter in between it, so I just asked them to turn it off and I used all of my lighting. The video just became so much better, but I'm happy that I controlled this at least. Even singing, you know, during the watching it again. Very nice. The set design is really just top notch here. Just look at it, just looks so unorthodox, you know, really just look like Alfred Hitchcock. So there we go. Let's have a look. FPS 24 again. Shutter is now at 144. So it always tends to be around 90 and 180, either or. White balance still at 5600, which is quite okay. Again, using an 85mm, quite zoomed in, but it's nice. It gives a very nice depth of field, actually, the way we see it. You know, the compression is very nice. I really love filming as well with anything above 30. It just gives a very nice compression feeling. It just feels very focused. I have to get myself one more lens, and I think that's the 56mm, so that I get an 85mm equivalent. I need to get one. This look is just so iconic, and I've just realized that I actually don't have it right now, but I should get it. It's not expensive. Well, it is, but for the results you get, it's not that expensive. Really nice. I also like that his voice actually matches to the piano. It's just as if everything is in sync. Really good. Man, look at it. Everything is even with real fire, you know, like that's a big risk, but I think they were prepared for it, you know. Just play it safe and you can do anything crazy while keeping it safe. They're really pretty, man. I totally agree. Another thing I want to mention, by the way, with what he mentioned, he says, coming back to filming, it's scary, but not only for him, but it's scary for everyone, the entire team, because you want to make sure that everything is correct from the start. Everything just has to match, and they did a really good element here, or a very good making. It's all about getting past that fear and just go with the flow, you know. I think that's why they are so successful with, you know, helping each other, you know, all the clapping, all the motivating. It's very nice. You can very much see actually the makeup on his mustache. I mean, this hair for a man grows really quick. They're trying to cover it up, but you can see it's a little bit rough, you know, with the makeup. Maybe this is the reason why they use so much face softening, to really just make sure that it's soft everywhere. Even though on the sides it looks perfect. Thank you, Max. I must say, who made this video? TVQX. No, XQ. Wait, XQI? TVXQ, there we go. So I just want to say, whoever made these documentaries, this is a top-notch behind the scenes. They really were worth the money. In all honesty, this is how a behind the scenes should look like. It should just be informative. It should not only just show the stars, it should also show the behind the scenes and what's actually happening. What is the video consisted of? What is the team behind it? And I love that we see basically all these aspects. And I just want to say hats off, you know, to the team that prepared this video and made it. It's fun. I really enjoyed Devil. I really enjoyed Maniac a little bit more, even because it's just more light-hearted. It's just more fun to watch. And they did a fantastic job trying to record everything from behind the scenes. Also during the MV, top-notch videos. I mean, the question to you guys is now, what do you think of both the MVs and the behind the scenes? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I just think they're really fun to watch. And I hope you enjoyed watching the behind the scenes with me. I hope they were informative. I hope that I could explain something to you. And like I said, I'm not going to edit these videos. I'm just going to keep it as smooth as possible and also just keep it as real as possible. It's just the most important, because if I all of a sudden do this in live and I cannot even do this live, it's terrible. And I want to give you guys that live experience. And I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I think like 45 minutes, quite long, but I hope that it was really fun for you guys to watch. And I just want to say, guys, thank you very much for watching. And if you did enjoy until the very end, just make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribed, and I'll see you on the next video. I'm gonna have a little bit more time over the next days, so I'm gonna try pump out a video a day. So if you have any suggestions, put them down below on what you want me to see next, and I'll see you on the next. Oh, I have something in my throat. I'll see you on it came back again. What the hell? It's like I just sucked in a bit of dust. No, but I'll see you on the next video, and stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good one, okay?